So back when I was waiting to figure out what cat I'd be matched with as my first foster, I was looking at the form that that the shelter had you fill out, and they let you decide like what kind of cats you like, what kind of behavioral and medical needs you were willing to foster a cat, who had like those like behavioral or medical needs. Like, are you willing to take care of a cat who literally has cancer? Are you willing to take care of a cat who is shy? A cat who might bite you? Like, I don't recommend that one, but personal experience. Anyway, so I, when waiting for a long time with the first shelter that I had volunteered to foster for, I started to consider if I would be willing to open myself up to fostering expecting mother cats, which probably, they have I figured they probably had a big need for people willing to foster cats about to give birth, because that happens a lot. So I asked about what that experience was like, and here's what I gathered. Basically, the mom cat actually does a lot of work, because I know, and I'm sure a lot of people think that when you take care of a cat foster, when you foster a cat that's about to give birth, you imagine that it's potentially going to be a lot more work, because the mom cat, you have the mom cat and then you have the kittens, and you got to take care of all of them. But nature has, prepared mom cats, through evolution, and they basically do the work for you. They mind the cats, they mind the kittens get food from the mom's boobs, and you are set. You don't really have to, do a whole lot as far as like feeding the kittens every day. You just take care of the mom cat, and you weigh the kittens every day. They should be gaining weight every day. Good, and they'll be good and healthy. You want to make sure that they are not injured. Like, you want to monitor for that. You want to keep them in a safe box, like, or some very safe area where they can't get themselves in danger, which shouldn't be too hard. Just don't put them in some, complicated place. Just make it as much of a plain old box room as possible. Like, you probably could put them in a closet, as long as you're checking in on them, of course. So basically, yes, weigh the babies daily. You may end up needing to occasionally bottle feed some babies. Like, if you weigh them day to day and one of them isn't gaining as much weight as they should, you may end up needing to feed them via the bottle. Other than that, you're basically cleaning, feeding and playing with the cats once, they aren't drinking, mom's breast milk. But, until then, they get their food from mom. But other than that, you're just cleaning them, weighing them, and then playing with them. Since they might be, since they're, just born, like, they might be particularly needy on the social aspect. Though if they have, other sibling kitties, a lot of that should be taken care of by the kittens socializing with each other. So they may cling a lot to you as, the big titan human being in the room, but, they have each other, so it shouldn't be too crazy as far as, like, them, only relying on you for socializing. Okay. As for the mom, before giving birth, the mom can apparently be very loving, like very cuddly, very just amazing to be around, just pleasant, you get all the cuddles and she's super happy. And then once she gives birth, she's in mom mode. Her instincts take in to really take on the work of taking care of the baby kittens. Sometimes, unintentionally, she might, fall short with one kitten, or things happen, and that's when you need to take over. At least with whatever kitten is like struggling more to thrive. And you'll, there are resources out there to kind of go over like what, different problems might come up as far as like, like how much should I feed a cat? Like if they're not gaining as much weight as they should. If you tell your shelter that this is the first, expecting cat you fostered, I'm sure they'll, give you resources, even if it's just like, hey, text me, if something weird comes up, and they'll probably want you to text their weights, the weights of all the kittens every day anyway, and then they'll probably be able to point out, hey, this kitten hasn't gained weight or whatever, you should do this thing, and it's probably going to be very simple, like what you have to do to, address whatever is needed. Also, on the topic of the mom making her own home, the mom I kind of give it away. Basically, the mom might do a little furniture rearrangement, in whatever space you give her. Like if you've got blankets set up, but like, the mom might, grab those blankets and make it into a more of a nesting situation. Like she just might, move things to make herself more comfortable and make her kittens more comfortable. So be prepared that, whatever you set up might get moved around, just depending, especially if you don't like exactly put them in a box and you've got them in a room where they're like safe, but the mom might be like, I want to, sort things out. I feel like this will be the best way, for this is how I envision my, kitten birth giving to happen. They just be prepared. They might do things like that. Okay. All right. Also, if you're hearing this and you're not sure if like fostering a expecting mom is right for you, when you sign up to be a foster, you'll have some kind of screening, some kind of initial screening, and they'll want to know like what your life is like. Like, I was able to tell them that I work from home, so they'll want to know things like that, so that they so that if you are unsure if you should take on like certain cats, for example, and again this could go with dogs or other animals. I'm sure there are slight differences in fostering, expecting like dogs and other animals. So let's stick with cats. But they'll be able to help you figure out, what kind of cat matches best with your lifestyle as far as like fostering goes. And I'm sure like if you want to straight up adopt a cat, like, they'd be able to help you think through that too. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to help you figure that through. But yeah, like make sure she's in a secure place, make sure the mom's in a secure place. Boxes are a good idea, like big boxes that are just like squares with, open air roof. Have some blankets on the floor of the box. Okay. Alright, and the final recommendation, the National Kitten Coalition has webinars where they talk about what it's like and what to expect when it comes to fostering expecting moms. So you can check that out. I'll try to remember to put a link in the description to their website at least. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you liked what you saw. Comment below about would you foster an expecting mom cat? I don't think I would. I feel like even if it's pretty easygoing, I would be too worried about all the different kittens involved, and I'd be too distracted from work, which I really don't need right now. I already struggle enough focusing. So anyway, yeah. Also, hi.